What are the qualities that you possess that helped forge a civil relationship, which hindered you from forging a civil relationship?
Is that 2 questions?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of,
Two
yeah.
parts.
So,
I'll go first.
oh,
Yes.
we're
Yes,
all.
Queen.
I possessed 0 qualities to help foster a positive co-parenting relationship. 0. We've only been able to foster a positive co-parenting relationship because of April, in my eyes, because I do not possess those qualities.
I think that's
I-
a very
Next
fair
person.
statement.
I actually agree with that, only because we were talking about this the other day. John sees things very black and white,
Mhm.
and I think you almost were able to kind of squeeze in there and show the little gray area
Mhm.
and soften him up a little bit in any way you can, girl.
Do you
Any
think
way
that
you
softened
can.
you?
So I
I
think
don't think you soften me. I think it's when we lay our heads down tonight, if I'm going to be in trouble. Then why the
See,
hell would
there's
I-
truth, ladies
There's
and
the
gentlemen.
truth.
That's truth.
Get it, girl.
And then I will
Whatever
follow
it
up and
takes.
let you know that the reason why I have qualities that possess that ability is because I already had to go down that road because I raised 2 girls that had a different father.
That's true.
And I learned some lessons through that caused me to be different when me and April got a divorce because I realized some things that would make things easier for the kids involved. So I chose to go that route versus being a hard ass.
That's good answers,
fair.
guys.
That's good.
She was just I think they summed everything up.
What outside factors held you back from a co-parenting or positive co-parenting relationship?
Outside factors.
Yeah.
Outside factors being attorneys.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly. I was gonna say the same thing.
I think that had a lot to do with it.
I think we had different like family members and friends at different points kind
Social
of.
media.
Like hearing things about that the others said on social media, or
Mhm.
I think society held us
Yeah.
back because they think it should be a certain way, and we do things a different way. We do what works for
Well, and
us.
especially the way the court system works. You know, they wanted it to be. It's almost like they kept us
Very
corralled
legal.
in a certain way. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So Roy and I's divorce and custody went so much different,
Well, Roy
so
wasn't
different than
John and I's.
yeah. We agreed outside of court on everything because I
Yes.
think we had maybe us having gone through it before, we had a more level head, and there was between you and John still a lot of just anger and
Mhm.
resentment and get
For sure.
evens.
I think
For
the
sure.
unfortunate thing is that when you let the legal system and lawyers and all that get involved, they get involved and they go off of the beat that's going on right then and there.
That's true.
Mhm.
And me and April just happened to have gone through it before, and we realized that even though we said a lot of nasty things to each other, which that's very true, we knew that dust would settle eventually, and we'd have to get on with our lives of actually trying to raise kids. So probably I'd say that's probably how me and you were able to like, all right, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make this work?
Yeah,
Even though at the time we hated each other, we didn't like each other.
emotions were high.
Yeah.
Sometimes they still are, but we are mature enough and adult enough to put everything else aside because the main thing that matters most in the world are our children.
You have to love your children more than you hate your ex.
I've said it 100 times.
It's true. You have to literally.
You hate me.
I don't hate you.
No.
I've never hated
more
you.
than you dislike. We'll use
Yeah.
that word. All right.
Yeah, I've never hated you. What advice would you give families going through similar situations?
That's so loaded.
Mm.
Oh man.
Communication obviously. is key.
Yeah.
Let go.
Let go. Let go. You're gonna have to.
Let go and
anyways.
let bourbon.
Yeah. There's a good saying.
Pray.
Um,
Pray more.
Keep praying. Try to.
Realize that your feelings in the situation are not the feelings of your children.
Oh, that's a good.
And therefore, if you act on your feelings, your children have to live with it and deal with that.
That's true.
So
Your children didn't get a divorce.
No.
You did. Your
And they-
children still love their parents.
And they can sense. I mean, children.
They
have
absolutely
sense.
can.
They can sense the tension. They,
They
can sense
can.
the hate. They can sense the
Mhm.
sense the animosity.
And that's not something that they should even know how to handle in their tiny little ages.
No.
That's not something they need to be innocent as long as possible.
So in a nutshell, just communicate with each other and let the past go. And just because we have this amazing relationship and bond going doesn't mean that it happened overnight. And it doesn't mean that your situation is going to mirror ours.
It doesn't
It takes
mean
time.
that we're not going to come up with some,
We'll
come to a
struggle.
place where we're going to have emotions that get the best of us
Oh, it's gonna
because
happen.
it's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
Now I think we're just armed with the tools to better
Communicate.
communicate, better solve our.
Call each other out
differences.
first
And-
in a healthier way.
and try not to react emotionally.
Every
Your emotions are
action
going to come
doesn't
out.
deserve a reaction.
Well, yeah. So your emotions are going to play a big part, but try not to make a decision when your emotions are still in play.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let yourself cool down. Walk away. Threats are threats. They are what they are. They're not really serious. And just breathe, and then come back and revisit and say, okay, all right,
You're going to have to see that person
absolutely.
for the rest of your life. So you need to
Absolutely.
cultivate some sort of respect, friendship. You
Unfortunately.
can't just let them disappear.
Ay, ay, ay. No one's
All
disagreeing.
right.
Which brings us to the next question.
Oh yeah, perfect. Do you always get along?
Do we always get along?
No.
No, absolutely
goodness,
not.
no.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, let me just hold on. Wait a minute.
Mm.
I think that out of all four of us, I think that I'm able to get along better with everybody
I would concur.
than anybody else.
You are the center of the OODA loop.
What is an OODA loop? I know what a
We're not
OODA
going to
loop.
do it a little
What's
for the
a
whole
OODA
crowd.
Only Roy knows.
Okay, it must be a military thing. No
Okay.
OODA loops. Okay. But
can
I
do
think
it.
that
I can do
I
it
always
too.
try to see every situation, all of us, in a
Mm.
positive light.
Mm-hmm.
So, Roy,
So-
you're not agreeing.
What do you mean?
Are you agreeing?
Yeah, I think all of us have.
No,
some-
I do. I do think that all of us have, absolutely. I was just saying that where some of us are easy to kind of say,
Run away?
oh, yeah, give up and say, oh, not going to work.
Sure.
I'm like, nope, let's go.
No,
I'm,
we're gonna make
I'm
this
pushing
happen.
through.
Absolutely.
I think there's a desire amongst all four of us
Mm-hmm.
to do our best to make this work.
Yeah.
And therefore, even when we get into arguments and fights, whether it be, one of us, two of us, whatever, I think,
We all
think-
want it.
I think that actually builds a little bit of a stronger bond sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we get into a fight, we overcome it, and we realize that we have some resiliency.
Yeah.
And that we can,
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.